All right, this lesson is on theoretical and experimental probability. Probability is the study of randomness. It helps us determine how likely or unlikely an event occurs. We will use probability frequently in the real world because it helps us make informed decisions. The probability of an event in a sample space is a number between 0 and 1. It tells us how likely it'll occur. We describe the event using fractions, decimals, or percentages based off a scale. Here's some important vocabulary. The whole game will be considered an experiment. An activity includes involving chance. Each roll of a dice would be considered a trial, a repetition of observations of the experiment. Each number that can be rolled on a dice is called an outcome. A possible result is the trial. The collection of these possible outcomes is called the sample space. So in this first diagram, it shows you the experiment of rolling a number cubed, and the sample space would be you could get a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, or 6. The second one is spinning on a spinner. Notice there are 4 colors on that spinner, so you have equal chances of getting a red, a blue, a green, or yellow, along with an equal chance of getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on a dice. Experimental probability is the chance of something happening when it comes from data generated from an experiment or something that has happened. The game we played today would be something like rolling a dice multiple times and writing down what happened. Experimental probability is the number of times the event occurs divided by the number of trials that you've done. Theoretical probability is the chance of something happening comes from a mathematical calculation. So the probability formula is probability of an event occurring is the number of favorable outcomes divided by the number of outcomes in the sample space. The last definition here is complement. The sum of all probabilities in any sample space is 1. The complement of an event is the set of all outcomes in the sample space that are not in E. So what we do is we go 1 minus the probability of E occurring. And then later on in our lessons, we'll talk about geometric probability. Example 1. What is the probability if you flip a coin and you get a heads? So there are 2 options when you flip a coin. You can get a tails or a heads. So what is the probability of getting a heads? You have a sample space of 2 options, and one of the options that's favorable is heads. So you have a 1 out of 2 chance of getting a heads. What is the probability of rolling 1 dice and getting a 3? So the sample space is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means there's a total of 6 in the sample space, and the favorable outcome is a 3. So the probability of getting a 3, you have a 1 out of 6 chance of getting a 3. What is the probability of rolling a dice again and getting an even number? So if we go up here, evens are 2, 4, and 6. So how many favorable outcomes is that? That's 3 out of 6. So the probability of an even, 3 favorable outcomes out of a total of 6 in your sample space.